Hello, I'm John McNamara, the Information Architect for IBM Messaging, and I'm here today with Andrew Schofield, who's the Chief Architect. Hello Andrew, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Brilliant, and I'm here with Caroline, who's one of the authors on MessageSight. Hello Caroline.
Hi John.
Hello. So we're going to talk about what's new in IBM MessageSight version 1.1. But before we get into that, shall we have a very quick intro into what MessageSight actually is?
Sure. So MessageSight is a messaging appliance, and it's specifically targeted for mobile and machine-to-machine environments.
Grand.
So it's very scalable. It expects large numbers of devices to connect to it, and it's very fast as a result of that. So.
Marvellous.
Yeah.
That's great. So let's move on to what's new in MessageSight version 1.1. We've added a new resource adapter. Can you tell us what this is, Andrew, and why it's important?
So a resource adapter is a way of connecting Java Enterprise Edition application servers to other resource managers. So it's basically a way of connecting MessageSight to WAS in a nice, scalable, well-architected way. That's the point.
Brilliant. All right, so I've read your blog on DevelopWorks, Andrew, and you've mentioned this thing called shared subscriptions. So what are they, and what impact will they have on the same messaging workload?
So typically when you're using Publish Subscribe and you make a subscription, then you get your own copy of all of the messages. So you don't really get any way to share them amongst a bunch of consumers if you can't keep up with the messaging workload. So with a shared subscription, you're able to share it with a bunch of equivalent servers. So for instance, if you've got a lot of processing to do on the message, you can't really take millions of them at a time. Right. You may only be able to consume thousands, so you want to share the workload among many consumers so that you can basically workload balance it.
Genius.
So can you combine the resource adapter and the shared subscription features?
Well, that's sort of why we've done them together in the same release. When you're talking to an application server, you're probably going to do some significant amount of processing with the message. You probably won't be able to take millions of them a second. So with the resource adapter, you can connect it up to a shared subscription and potentially put a cluster of application servers on the back end and then workload balance across all of those. So yes, they work really well together.
Fantastic. So a topic close to my heart, security. Now, I know I've got some security enhancements in 1.1. Could you give us a bit of an intro into those, what they are?
Yeah, so the first one is LTPA, which is sort of an IBM only thing, but it essentially allows you to use the same authentication for other IBM middleware and MessageSight at the same time. So you could use it with Web Application Server, or you could use it with WorkLight, for instance. Okay. It just means you don't have to separately authorize the two servers independently. So that's probably most likely to be used with WorkLight, I would have thought. The other thing is we've enhanced some of the processing for client certificates. So you can take the common name out of a client certificate and use that within a messaging policy in MessageSight, so you effectively can give out the identity to the client devices and then trust that they're not tampered with it, they're not pretending to be somebody else when they actually try and access resources on the server.
That sounds great. And what new features are targeted at mobile applications?
Okay, so the big difference here is disconnected client notification. So the idea is essentially if you've got a client application, probably on a mobile device, which has been connected and consuming messages, if it disconnects, then it needs a way of being told that it should reconnect so it can go and get some messages. So that's what this feature is about. So you can imagine that if you've got a mobile application on say an iPhone or something like that, they've got this idea of a little sort of numbered badge on it, yep, saying there's something to go and do. You can use this feature to say, well, there's a TT message waiting for you back on MessageSight, get a device notification through Apple servers, which causes that badge to be updated. Wow. So we've provided sort of the technology to do the MessageSight end of this, and you need to write a gateway to actually do the plumbing to make sure the device gets the notification. But there'll be a sample one of those as well.
Wow, that sounds awesome. So that's a kind of a very quick overview. There's more on your blog, Andrew, which is great, and that exists on www.ibm.com/developerworks/connect/IBM messaging. So have a wee look at Andrew's blog. It is fantastic, and you can also ping us on Twitter at IBM messaging. So we will get back to you if you do. Please do get in contact with us. We'd love to know what you think. And you can also download, before I forget, the IBM MessageSight for Developers virtual appliance directly from the blog as well. So download, give it a go, and again, let us know what you think. Thank you very much for listening.